council meeting of January 20th, 2026 is now called to order. We are going to stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mary, will you please do roll call?
Yes, I will. Councilmember Blush,
Here.
Councilmember Stearns.
Here.
Councilmember Onisko.
Here.
Mayor Sherman.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Sapp.
Here.
Councilmember Gilmore.
Here.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Here.
Does council have any late changes to the agenda? Okay, looks like Jay is taking over from Mark tonight. And council report. Do our council members have any board reports to share?
I do have board reports to share. All right, so I attended the county briefing on Monday, the 12th. Dave Wyndham, Public Health, is working on scaling back the 5-year housing homeless plan and aiming to reduce the narrative to avoid budget constraints for the county. The plan will be sent back to the Housing Advisory Board and online for the public to view. Also, they discussed repairs, Pantera cleaners downtown. It's having some issues, and also they're talking to pursue some brownfield grants. It's an extremely contaminated property, and they were hoping maybe the city can join in the grant process down the road. I've been asked to testify on the Hill on a future kratom and nitrous oxide bill, and I'll wait for more information on that. I received an email from Public Health regarding proposed 50 million budget reductions by the governor to public health. It's going to be some serious impacts. We should stay tuned and be informed for that. MACOM meeting, they ended up with a positive end fund balance of $241,000, and their ILA is automatically goes to capital purchases, which is great. They have 220,000 in there, so that is going, and so the board authorized them to purchase the long overdue server replacement, which houses all of their applications, not exceeding $275,000, with coming back to the board with the increases. This will be housed off-site, not here at Civic Center anymore, so it'll take the stress off the cooling system here in the city. And there's also future work on a new local agreement with all agencies involved in MACOM. And there's also an upcoming listening session in March for board members regarding life call systems. And also I was selected last week as vice chair of both the governance board and the legislative board.
Awesome, congratulations.
I attended the criminal justice meeting with the mayor. Whoops, I just lost my spot. Shoot. I attended the criminal meeting with the mayor. Public defense remains a concern. Lack of proper defense is going to be causing delays in prosecutions or any court proceedings. The jail population was 44 with no booking restrictions. I did mention the issue with recent arrest and housing difficult inmates. I was told it's in our contract, and that's just the way it is. Department of Corrections shared 3 releases with the board. All these crimes were out of our area, which is interesting, but they were all released into Shelton halfway houses of sorts. One being a concern, a gang member out of Tacoma. It was involved in a drive-by shooting. So, I mean, that's something I'd like to maybe investigate in the future, is why that's happening. Also, I attended Citizen for Shelton school meetings on January 12th. There's detailed information online if anybody's interested in learning about the levy. I also attended a Mason County Chamber event where our own Mark Ziegler was voted boss of the year. I attended a Lions Club meeting yesterday. There was no county briefing on a holiday. Today, the county meeting, there was not much to report. There was a WSU extension brief the county commissioners on a program where local teenagers took a course on dementia at WSU, and will be teaching a class February 4th and the 19th at the Griffin Fire Hall, Station 1. County auditor also briefed the commissioners that ballots went out today in the mail. And today I met with Mason County Public Health, Ben Johnson, a Representative Griffey, over the kratom and nitrous oxide Senate House bills coming up. And also have communications with various citizens on various topics. And next week, it's gonna be really crazy. Tomorrow, I'm going to start my day in AWC, Associated Washington Cities. I'm gonna come back here for the provider service. I'm gonna go back for a later session at AWC's, and then I'm hoping to be back at 3 o'clock for a Substance Abuse Coalition meeting. by the end of the day. We'll see if that works. Thursday, I will be all day at AWC in Olympia. I think that might be some of the stuff that's on the agenda, which is interesting, what I want to attend is public funding and criminal justice, of course, transportation infrastructure funding, housing supply and affordability, and state forecast and budget. These are all sessions that are available the next 2 days. And I always like talking to other cities and what's working, what's not working. And next week, basically kind of Board of Health, and I might try to attend the House Advisory Board meeting.
Thank you. Does anyone else have anything? Right. Now we're moving on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as published?
Ms. Mayor, I move to approve the consent agenda as published.
Second.
Right, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as published. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. All right, this is the part of the evening where we have the general public comment. The council invites the public to make comments on matters of city business. Comments may be made to the entire council and not individual council members. Please refrain from any personal or disrespectful remarks that create disruptions to the meeting. If unreasonably disruptive conduct continues, you'll be asked to leave the meeting. Mary, do we have anyone signed up for general public comment?
We do not. We don't have anyone signed up.
Oh my gosh, I think we should mark this day on the calendar. All right, well, then we're gonna move right into presentations. We have Liz Arba from the Mason County Historical Society to give us the Q4 LTAC report.
Thank you. So my report for October, November, and December. It's from our current exhibit, which is we're in the process of replacing. So Q4, we had 1,241 visitors, which I think breaks our numbers. We had a fantastic December. We had over 400 people come in on the evening. Trying to remember what it's called, but it's like the first Friday with, yeah, so it was fabulous. Then we had, so I made a little map so you can see what states we have visitors from and then what counties, so it's kind of on this side of the mountains. Canada, Ecuador, and Mexico. But for the year, we had over 3,300 visitors, which 3,200 has been my goal for forever. So the fact that we've surpassed that makes me very happy. Next slide, please. So I was trying to do this Facebook stuff over to make it make more sense. So, so this is my attempt. We had almost 30,000 total views on our page, or, you know, on our posts, 157% increase, for 68% of those views came from non-followers and 32% from followers. I think 20 helped, you know, have something like it. Or this are followers on our page. Photos always are what generate the most interest, and we have some great ones. That's fun. And then our 3 highest performing posts, top one had over 10,000. And it shows that the contents be shared and seen beyond just the local feed. So our website, we reached 1,600 active users during the October to December. 1,500 new users. This pretty much shows that our website is fairly popular. The top content is the Atlas of South Puget Sound logging, which is a book that we sell, membership, and then the homepage, of course. Most of the people, but I should say about a third of the people who arrived or through organic searches. And it came primarily from Washington State. Seattle Shelton. Next slide, please. We have finally reprinted long, long ago in Skokomish Valley. It's written by Emmett Richard in, it's published in 1964 originally. This is part of our mission is to continue to publish these books, new and old. This cover was done by John Stenberg, who lives in Newport. And the graphic design is done by a former Shelton resident, formerly the daughter. So that is just a nice, bright update from what it was before. Next slide, please. Our next exhibit is going to be shaped by the water in the Maritime of Mason County. When you look at Mason County, just all of the development came as the water. And so this is, we're looking at it going, this is so huge. So we were planning on February 1, but it's probably not that soon. I have to go over to you. And that is it. Anyone have any questions?
Just a comment about December was wonderful and I really enjoyed the night out and being open for you being open, and a lot of your stats come in December, and you're part of what makes downtown Shelton unique. So thank you for caretaking of our history, and thank you for curating our history. And thank you for having some place to go downtown that's beautiful and unique to Shelton. And once again, it really warmed my heart to be part of all the festivities at downtown, especially with the young people and even animals. So thank you so much for curating, keeping it open, and just taking care of our history.
We love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we have Deidre Peterson from the Shelton Mason County Chamber of Commerce to present their Q4 LTAC report. Thank you, Deidre.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. I'm also here with my Q4 report from the chamber for visitor services at both the caboose, but I also include information about the Pittsburgh Visitor Center. Because that draws in quite a number of folks to the area, and we're proud to have both of those locations. Look at the next slide here. You'll see our figures for Q4. We ended up with about a 17.5% increase in visitors over last year. Although our maps and passes sales at Pittsburgh primarily were down significantly. And that is largely due to the government shutdown, because we were unable to get the interagency passes and passes that are exclusive to the National Park Service and the Forest Service. So it was a rough year between Maryville Shire and then the shutdown in October through December. But we did see a real uptick again in December. Of course, because of Festival of Birds and Holiday Magic particularly. So you'll see there the visitor counts, phone counts. Phone, we are continuing to see that trend down as more folks are contacting us via email, via social media, and through our Google pages. Next slide, please. Our Facebook page, we have 2 winners for the chamber itself, which our total post reach for Q4 was just over 51,000. While the Pittsburgh Visitor Center again focuses on what's relevant to the Big Canal region. We take a more regional approach to tourism, focusing on Olympic National Park and the Forest Service. We did see great interaction with those, and as always, Festival of Furs and anything to do with what's happening for Christmas is always very well received. So that was one of our top posts in December. Slide. Our Google landing page for the caboose was down quite a bit. We saw less people searching specifically for the caboose, which is typical for Q4. We tend to see more of our railway enthusiasts out during the summertime. But we did still see good interactions and still have a 4.5-star rating, so we're really proud of that. Next slide. Pittsburgh, again, you'll see there over 1,200 people specifically searched that. Most of that's coming from Google Maps, people looking for visitor centers, attractions. Funnily enough, all the road resort comes up as the 4th number that's directly to us. But we are continuing to get positive interactions on that page as well. And lots of really great feedback from visitors that help volunteers at the visitor center. And so I just like to again shout out to all of the folks who keep that staffed during our off-peak season, which Q4 falls into. We are open at sport from 10 to 4, Thursday through Sunday. And so during that time, we have local experts, retired rangers, and folks who grew up on the canal that are able to offer really specific insight about things to do and what the suggestions are, because my idea of a walk and your idea of a walk may be a little bit different, and hiking, where you can take your dog and all of those things, they have all of the knowledge. So we're really grateful to our volunteers that help us keep that space open. Next slide. Special events during Q4, we'd love to see those really continue to add to. Downtown Merchants partnered with the Chamber to bring Halloween spectacular downtown. We did have the booths open during that time. We did not count how many folks went in, but I can tell you that all of the coloring pages were gone in the first 20 minutes. And I think we had a lot of folks that enjoyed having a bathroom location. And so while kids were climbing in the cupola and enjoying the space, we saw a lot of parents checking out maps to the museum and different things to do in the region. So hopefully when they have family coming into town for holidays, they can enjoy that space. Of course, Oyster Fest is a huge draw for the area. And we see a huge number of RV folks come into town. While they don't specifically pay the hotel and motel tax, they do pay into our sales tax. So keeping those visitors entertained and trying to keep them through our local businesses is the absolute key for us during the Oyster Fest season. And then of course, Holiday Magic and Christmas Town. So we were open Friday night until 8, and then again parade day. I think you'll see on the next slide. Picture of the booths all decked out for the season. And I do want to just say again, a thank you to Renee from Wild Greens Evergreens, who provided nearly 400 feet of cedar garland to decorate the booths. And to our scout troops who decorated this year. So if you see them, you can share the holiday warmth with them. We're very grateful for their assistance. You can see here the types of visitors from Q4. So in-state, saw a lot of folks from the North Seattle area, Seattle, Porter, Edmonds, Olympia, and out of state, California, Idaho, New York, Georgia, Florida, and Texas. And then that's looking just specifically at the booths. And then residents, we saw an uptick in Q4 because of the Christmas tree passes that we got once everything reopened, and we're happy to get those out. So that is it. Next slide. Just a level picture of downtown, which the city put the glorious colored lights for us. And so any questions you may have on Q4 for the visitor centers the chamber provides, if you have the answer. Thank you.
Just one comment, the reality TV show Shelton City Council, my mom always watches all these, so you're like her second favorite character. So the first favorite, of course, probably me, but she just says how professional and smart and sharp you are, and I'm glad you're in your position working on us for all the downtown and Shelton activities. So thank you.
The chamber are really blessed to be able to enjoy the partnership with the city and the county to provide the services. And I'm really thankful to have the support partnership with not just the city and the county, but our tourism partners. So thank you all for the opportunity, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Right, moving on. Chief Clustead will now present the 2025 Officer of the Year. Big deal.
Mayor, council members, actually, Captain Dan Acme is going to introduce our officer here. I just want to thank Captain Patton for all his work when they were nominations and did all of our work.
Awesome. Thank you, Chief. Mayor, Deputy Mayor, City Council, this is probably the funnest time of the year for the chief and I. As we look back at our department and what we accomplished through the year, and we get to acknowledge that one person that really stepped up and made our jobs a lot easier. When you walk down the inner halls of the Shelton Police Department, on the board, we have plaques going back more than 20 years of our officers, and brings back a lot of memories. So to have your name etched there is really important. To have it etched 3 times is probably even more important. So I'm going to invite Sergeant Chris Downs up here. Our process is that one of our employees has to nominate an officer, and then from there we may take the vote or we'll look at all the nominations. This year it was incredibly easy because you see Sergeant Downs got about 75% of the nominations. And these are nominations from his peers, not from the chief and I. These are the people that directly work with Sergeant Downs and they respect him. He's been placed in a lot of difficult positions this year. He took over our detective division, on top of that, a lot of admin work. And in the last quarter, I found this awesome class for him, this command level class. And it says, make sure that your student has 20 to 30 hours per week dedicated to this class. Sergeant Downs not only does that at 20 and 30 hours a week, but he also does his full duties. And on top of that, even some extra stuff. There are times he reminds me of that, and I can see it in his face, but he does it great. The one thing about this award, as we give it to him tonight, is this is the one person that I was kind of concerned about, because the chief and I went in there. You see, Sergeant Downs would not want this award. I mean, that's just who he is. And I was afraid that he was going to say, no, you have to give it to somebody else. He's very humble in everything that he does. And then lastly, I just also want to recognize that between each or behind each of our great officers and all the work he does, he wouldn't be able to do this without his spouse that supports him too. I mean, it's off hours, it's leaving your phone on in the middle of the night, it's being gone, it's missing events and stuff like that. So we don't just recognize Sergeant Downs, but recognize his wife and his family too, that put up with it. And so we're really thankful for Sergeant Downs. So this is for you, for all your fingerprints on it. And do you have any questions or comments or Sergeant Downs?
Thank you for your service and dedication. I know those extra hours on top of your job must be excruciating and like they said, thank you to your family.
Excellent work and congratulations.
It's the greatest compliment to be elected by your peers by such a wide margin, so thank you.
Thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay, Assistant Public Works Director Aaron Nix has information for us about the Schneider Geospatial Asset Management Software Purchase Order. Did I say that right?
Deputy Mayor, also thank you. We spent a lot of time on here, basically evaluating the GIS system, what we have and what we need in the future. Currently, we're using a module that is sponsored by Tyler, the financial software application that we use. And as we got into the research and utilizing this stuff, predominantly what that software was being utilized for was basically a board folder system. There was no real guidance with regard to asset management. Those types of things that some of us that have worked in other places have utilized in the past. So we did that, we got in, we started looking at it, and then we were tasked with, if you had an asset management software, which one might you choose? And we invited all of the big players like Cartograph. There's like Beehive, Brightly Software, it used to be Dude Solutions. And evaluated them all. I want to pay a compliment to our GIS technician, Colt Pickle. He just won a Sheltie Award for what's it? Behind the scenes guy. He basically took this project on. He's a younger man, and it just has gone not crazy. He has exhaustively evaluated this. The other thing that I think is really beneficial is that he brought in all of our staff from ground floor all the way up to the decision making. One of the biggest complaints that we got from staff, maintenance staff, was that Tyler was too hard to use. They didn't want to use it in the field. So we listened and we observed, and then Colt and I started looking and evaluating different asset software applications. The one we actually chose is a newer one. It's actually based on the East Coast. Schneider Geospatial. Ironically, the person that found that course was our mechanic, who actually went to a snow plowing event in Minnesota. And there was a seminar there, and this outfit was there. we got their information, brought it back, and we're really impressed. Because it covers all of the maintenance areas within the city, so fleet, water, sewer, storm drainage, all of that's covered. The other real benefit that we got, at least in meeting, we met the president and the creator of the company. His role right now is actively, they go back to the people that are using the software and they ask them, what is the best thing that we can do to help you make this more efficient, more effective? And they actively have working groups that do that for them. The real benefit that you're not gonna see from a Tyler software is the application actually has SOPs built into it. So and because of that knowledge base of understanding full service cities, they were very conscious, and a lot of the stuff that we had to build in Tyler, they already have prefabricated for us, so it's just a matter of switching over. The other real benefit is that it's easy to use on a tablet. We also have the ability to do as-built-ing, which we did not have before. And if you talk to anybody in public works with regard to GIS, our problem is our data sucks. And I mean that respectfully, it is not good data. And what we've actively been doing is going out and doing broad shots ourselves of getting location data for this. As an example, Colton and I go out usually on a Thursday afternoon for an hour or two. We pretty much covered all of downtown with the water system. So that's valves, hydrants, everything. We need that updated. So very long-winded, and I apologize for that. Our desire is to move forward with purchasing the Schneider geospatial software. It will provide us a lot more efficiencies. Another real benefit that we liked is it will actually predict and tell staff when things such as very complex sewer infrastructure, when and what needs to be updated with regard to maintaining it. So that is, we're trying to get away from, and you guys know this, we're reactionary. If the water line breaks, what are we doing? We're going out and fixing it. The idea with this is we'll now have the ability to, based on the recommendations from the software, of course, we're still going to use engineering intuition and those kinds of things, but it will directly tell us what the issues that we need to look for and what we need to maintain, which is half the battle, guys. That's the reality, is that's the half the battle. So two things that really convinced us to move forward with this is the kind of the cost. It was a midline software application. It's not top. Cartograph, you're looking at $80,000-$90,000 a year just to use that software. This has an initial implementation fee of about $30K, and then the annual subscription is $26,000. I think we think we're spending about $10,000 the Tyler fee. So it's a little bit of an increase, but I'm telling you, it's gonna be a phenomenal benefit for our people, just because they're gonna have more confidence, and we are gonna attack problems. Ultimately, that's the desire, attack problems before they are a problem. You'll proactively go out and fix water lines before they break, that kind of thing. So with that, just trying to introduce this to you guys. We had budgeted for this in this year, which you approved. And I'm hoping just to elevate this to the action agenda, maybe meeting can, if you're agreeable. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have about this.
Right. Can we get a reading of resolution 1426-0126?
Resolution number 1426-0126. A resolution of the city of Shelton, Washington, authorizing the city manager to execute a purchase order 26-04 to purchase Schneider Geospatial Asset Management Software through a Sourcewell Cooperative Agreement number 2438 with Schneider International Corporation. Sorry, that was a mouthful.
But then I didn't neglect to tell you guys is this is on a Sourcewell contract, so we're getting the best price on there. Instead of just going to the open market, we actually have a Sourcewell contract that will help us keep costs down.
Do we have a motion?
Ms. Mayor, I move to place resolution number 1426-0126 on the council's action agenda at the February 3rd, 2026 meeting for further consideration.
Dude, that's the wrong one. We're one,
I think I put the.
Schneider,
Typo.
is it 2-1 or 2-6? On here, I've got
On the
2-1.
conclusion, it says 2-1, I can double check. It's, I can,
okay.
that might be it.
All right, so I do have a question. So right now you say it's about 26 a year annual. Is that locked in or is there?
It will adjust with inflation, so you
Okay.
probably look at a 3%, 3 to 5% increase each year.
Good to know.
That's the way that will function, unfortunately.
Appreciate staff going out looking for software. We've actually invested a lot in software over the last several years to make it easier for staff and the community to do things, building permits and the SCADA system, so staff don't have to be at the plant 24 hours a day and obviously this is gonna help be proactive. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm just very enthusiastic that we're not spending money on repairs, but in fact saving money and by investing in something that can help predict future maintenance.
I agree.
I'm glad we're
One
gonna
other
be.
thing that I'd like to mention on that is the institutional knowledge. We have a lot of people in Browns worked here 20, 30 years. You take Todd Rhodes, Matt Deemer, these people know a lot. This system is gonna take that information and we'll be transferring it from them into the system. So if you look at like a water line break you were talking about, you can go to the system and say, hey, in the last 6 years, we've been in this area 8 times. It's time to replace that water line, right? So the institutional knowledge and getting it into this system is really a big, big win for us. And it helps train our people a lot more efficiently.
And thank you for the research and getting a really good price.
Absolutely. That's was one of the key factors is there some expensive software out there.
All right, so
Do we need to solve the number? 2-1 or 2-6? We need to solve them.
14260.
My resolution folder, my resolution number folder, and you see this.
Are we ready to move forward?
I will make sure the number.
Then I'll second the motion.
Right, thank you.
Is. It just said.
Eric is seconding the motion.
Well, the-
All right, all in favor, say aye.
I
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, next, Erin will present information about the railway removal project.
Very excited about this place. We've had some issues with local programs that WasDOT with getting some approvals moving forward. I submitted this supplement. In essence, this is the railway project that we had talked about, the removing the rails. One of the issues that we did not predict was that one of the mast arms of the old railway actually sits on private property. Typically, all that is kept in the right of way. In this particular instance, it's one of those mast arms. It's down on a highway, State Highway 3 and Park Street right there. You'll see a mast arm out in the woods, or not in the woods, more towards SPI. That's actually on their property. So what that does in the federal financing world is it makes your life chaotic and crazy. So by avoiding it, you have to go, typically, if there's our right of way issues, you have to go through the certification process. And we were hoping to avoid that. Not in this case, even though the piece is on private property, we could probably get SPI convinced to say, just take it out, get rid of it. We have to go through this process of right of way certification. So what does that mean? That means we have to hire a right of way person that is a professional in this. Through the process, we have to offer them some money to get what we're looking for is a temporary construction easement. Just to remove that particular piece. I tried, I said, please, come on, man, that you just let us move forward that, absolutely not. Sign, cross T's, dot I's, that's their attitude, so. Unfortunately, we do need to go through that, we do have to utilize a little bit more money. But like the desire with this is a little $20,000 additional money will allow us to get this thing constructed, our desire is to construct, good, so we are. Fast paced, this is old money and we want to get it done, so. I bring that forward to you. I have submitted this to local programs, and basically they've given the okay once we decide we want to proceed with this. Again, the desire is we're gonna be removing railroad tracks on 3 locations, Park Street. And what's the other one out in the county?
Yeah.
Holbrook
That's
Road, and then there's one on 7th. It's going here, so. Happy to answer any questions for you guys. Again, we've got this prepped and ready to go, and they're agreed to do it, so we want to.
Can we get a reading of resolution number 1427-0126?
Resolution number 1427-0126. A resolution of the city of Shelton, Washington, allowing the city manager to agree to supplement one to agreement number 25-002-PSA with Critique Inc. for a design contract adjustment to the continued professional services work of the railroad crossing closure project, once the supplement is approved at Washington Local.
All right, do we have a motion?
Ms. Mayor, I move to place resolution number 1427-0126 onto the council's action agenda for further consideration on the February 3rd council meeting.
Second.
All right. Does anybody on council have questions or comments regarding that?
I just wanted to say that I'm also on the SMPD, the Metropolitan Parks District. And that we've been waiting for this for 10 years and we need to if this gets us over the line, let's do it and get over the line.
Have even better news for you. I just got 30% drawings on Crosstown Trail phase 1.
Oh, awesome.
I've been writing in phase 2. I'll have that ready within the next couple weeks. And then we'll design the rest of it.
And the Crosstown Trail will be such a piece that will draw people to this
I know.
town and get us walking and out of our cars and going from park to park. So this is something that's exciting, but it sucks that we have to do this now and add extra money at the end, but I think it's really important that we do it.
Are the steel prices going, they've gone up at all?
Actually, you know what, you say that, I know we're saying that, but we just found in that tank that we just did that we just had a pre-con for the NBR tank that's going in the half. 500,000 gallon and the engineers estimate it's right under $1 million.
For the
So
steels?
it's not, it doesn't appear to be impacting that at this point yet.
Do we
Now, hitting stuff.
Yeah.
Different story, like pumps, stuff like that, whatever, it takes at least 6 months.
we still plan on saving some of this stuff for the historical society, maybe? I had a conversation yesterday with somebody that wanted to know if we saved any of that huge wood water piping that was on railroad, if we saved any of that for this.
But we wouldn't last stuff, I don't think we take it out.
No, Butch State Pipe is still there
Oh.
in the right of way. And when we get to a point where we're taking out the railroad tracks and the ties and doing some grading, I will be salvaging some of that, because some of it's in fair condition. So it's a wood stayed pipe.
Like 3 feet, wasn't it?
And they have this ring that goes around it, that's made out of iron, and then the oak pipe was in it, or cedar or oak, I'm not sure which. We can go look, because I actually have one in my office, but it swole up when it was wet, right? And that's to seal it, yep,
That's amazing. It's amazing.
yep.
The other thing I just want to quickly say about this, in the 30% review that we had today with the company, they actually gave us some wayfinding, purely railroad folks, and it's so cool. So I think, I agree with that, we want to keep on that focus. We already have the rails piece. It's gonna be awesome, so.
All right, did we have a second already? Okay, sorry, I just couldn't remember. All right, since we have that, we have a motion and a second to place resolution number 1427-0126 onto the council's action agenda for further consideration at the February 3rd, 2026 meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, this is the fun part. Next, we have the city clerk, Mary Ricker, presenting information on the council boards and committee assignment. I guess I should. Come on. Good evening.
So it's a new year, means that it's time for you all to review the boards and committees that you're all currently assigned to. Different nonprofits, public agencies around the community ask for your participation on boards and committees. In your packets, you had a list of what committees you all are currently assigned to. I know Mark has heard from several of you about changes that you all would like to make, so I have a more updated version, I think, than what is in the packet, but I suppose if there are any changes that you all know about tonight, you know, I will continue updating this list, and then when it comes to action, hopefully we'll have a list that matches committees that you all are working on. So I'm not sure how best to go about this, but if anything that's pressing, let me know about committees that you can.
I don't know. This one on here is wrong, but, but yeah.
I guess maybe I should go through my more updated.
But I mean, I could tell you, I like to keep the two boards that I'm on. I'm on MACOM and I'm on the Board of Health. I like to keep those.
Yes, the mayor stepped up last year and did take my Board of Health position and was very, very involved in making, and I think it's really passion of his, so I'm okay with sticking with the Shelton Metropolitan Parks District and Memorial Park. If something opens up, I'm always available. Will ask me and we'll see if we can work it out.
I can't do the PRT PTO anymore. It's on Fridays. I have another meeting that kind of conflicts with that one. So I'm open to any other one. You know,
What time is the Friday meeting?
honestly.
What is it?
Oh, the peninsula as well.
Yeah,
And they meet on Fridays.
it's like it's quarterly, but yeah. Yeah,
Does anybody else want to take that one?
I mean, I can take it if nobody wants it. I mean, that's fine. But if anybody wants it,
I'd be able to do it.
okay.
Put Tom in that one if that's
And
okay.
if you get home tonight, like.
That's staff also sits on the technical advisory committee for that as well, so happy to talk to you guys about it if you need thoughts on that.
I actually think Tom would be a great asset to that, being that he's familiar with the state and all the fun stuff.
I would like to stay on the Housing and Behavioral Health Advisory Board.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mayor, LTAC goes to the mayor, and
Okay.
it's once a year, and it's,
Oh, perfect.
we got it down to 1 day meeting. If you're tough, yeah. And if you're tough, you can do it 1 day.
Awesome.
It's a full day, but sometimes they'll try to make you go along with it.
All right.
But yeah, so that does go to the mayor.
Looking forward to it. And then also, I'd like to keep the Mason County Criminal Justice Working Team. It works really well with my schedule.
And I'm good keeping the, yeah, yep.
And John, it looks like I have you at the committee.
Yeah, good with that.
Okay. That's everything that's on my list, you know, I was unsure about how this was gonna. There we go, that's actually really easy, so. So I'll get these together, more updated.
I mean, are we all in agreement? We're all in agreement. Yeah.
Should we go ahead and do alternates at some point also, though?
That's.
They actually
Right.
have to be approved with that whatever ILA we have. So I've actually worked on that with Lindsay's board. I don't think they haven't done that yet, have they?
Not yet, but we've discussed it.
Yeah, they have to, it has to be all sides of the ILA, so why we're on those boards. But yeah, we could do alternates here, but I don't know if it's legal on their side to vote.
I'm not sure, that would probably depend on the.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, do you want to do that? Just, and then we could talk to each of those boards, whoever's on those boards.
Yeah, I don't think it's a terrible thing to have an alternate just in case somebody's unable to attend.
So it should be. I'll just go down the list maybe and we can see who wants. who's
Yeah.
interested. Okay,
Yeah.
so, the criminal justice working team,
I usually attend with
okay,
the mayor. I can back her up on that if she needs it.
Mason legislative and governing.
I'd like to take that on as an alternate.
The last board,
I will be the alternate on that one.
Who's on the left board?
Melissa, say?
Board of Health,
I'll be the alternate for that one.
the Mason Transit Authority, it looks like they have a regular and a joint meeting, so.
I'll take the alternate for that too.
PRTPO,
I'll go ahead.
I can do that. You've got a lot on your plate, Mr. Farmer Mayor, you always had. So thank you, bro.
I'd like to take that as an alternate, please.
Mason County Housing and Behavioral.
But I normally back up the deputy mayor on that.
Yes, I was gonna say I can back you up on that one, but it's fine.
I mean,
You're on a lot of stuff. Let's let you be the alternate because you're on a lot of things. Give her a little bit there. That's okay.
Makes sense.
And the Shelton Memorial Park.
My only question is, there's like a question mark here on the times and everything.
I wonder.
Yeah, they're quarterly on Wednesdays.
Are they mornings or afternoons?
Afternoons.
Afternoons.
I do attend this
Do
meeting.
you have a timeline on it?
Usually they're between 3 and 5.
Okay. I can be an alternate on that.
Yeah.
Maybe I can see.
And Commissioner Netherland is also on that board.
That's all it is for. And all the things that I think are gonna be.
Perfect, not too painful. We knocked that out. Awesome, thank you. I feel much more comfortable having alternates in case something happens.
Everybody needs to take that to their board though, make sure that that's ILA all fixed up and stuff.
All right,
Thank you very much.
thank you. So, do we have a motion?
Oh, do we need a motion for that?
It's right here in blue.
Oh.
You need to move it.
Oh,
Right.
That
I move
So,
to the action agenda of, what is it? Next meeting?
February 3rd.
January 3rd,
February.
board assignments. Sorry.
February.
February 3rd.
All right, do we have a second on that?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to place council boards and committee assignments onto the council's action agenda for further consideration at the February 3rd, 2026 meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Oh, there it is. It's way down here.
All right. So we're moving on to the action agenda, and that's why Mary is still here because she is going to present information regarding the LDAC grant recommendations.
So you all heard a little bit about this at your last regular meeting. The Lodging Tax Advisory Committee met, they presented their recommendations to the council. In the clerk's office, we're looking forward to getting the grant recipients' contracts ready and getting them in to sign and getting them started. I know a lot of them are itching for the funding, so we're excited to get them their funding. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Has it ever happened that they were not able to use the funding that they received?
Yeah, that has happened, and the funding is reimbursement based, so they just wouldn't be turn in their receipts.
Okay.
And we would keep the funding.
Okay, and do we roll that over then? Okay. thank
Yeah,
you.
remember we did the park up there for the disc golf park, and they want to build that bridge, and then they realized the state wouldn't let them build over the
Oh,
water.
over the water.
That money came right back in and went into last 24's money.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, so has anyone signed up for public comment? All right, you're gonna have to put on your other hat here. Run.
Gordon, you don't want to speak on this issue?
All right, can we get a reading of resolution number 1424-1225?
Resolution number 1424-1225. A resolution of the council of the city of Shelton, Washington, adopting the recommendations of the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee for the distribution of 2025 lodging tax funds.
Do we have a motion?
Ms. Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 1424-1225, the Lodging Tax Advisory Tourism Grant as presented.
Second.
Right. Do we have any questions or comments? No.
No, again, there's no public here, but it was a tough year. With a lot of requests and very little funds to give out, so everybody just got less than they asked for, but hopefully one day somebody will build 1 or 2 or 3 hotels here, so we can actually fully fund some of these, functions a little bit better. Some of these nonprofits, but yeah.
I'm just happy that we're supporting something for downtown and keeping Shelton unique by supporting these measures. So I just want to thank the council for all of us, all knowing that how important this is for our city. So, and everyone out there, like, this is something that makes Shelton unique, and was such a great place to live is our downtown, and supporting downtown is a big priority for this council. So.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 1424-1225 as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Right. Missing a page or something. Okay, I think we are on to Parks and Rec. Is that right?
Yep.
Right. Parks and Rec Supervisor Jordan Crumpel providing information about MACOM lease update.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm bringing back to you the MACOM lease from 2 weeks ago. No changes have been made. Approved tonight. This will go in effect starting tomorrow, but the first payment would not start February 1. And it was, as of right now, it's like only going to the end of 2026. If there's any changes, we'll bring it back to you again. Otherwise, any questions?
No, not for me. Do we have any public comment for this one? No, nobody signed up for that? All right, can we get a reading of resolution 1416-1025?
Resolution number 1416-1025. A resolution of the council of the city of Shelton, Washington, updating a lease agreement with MACOM.
All right, do we have a motion?
Ms. Mayor, move to approve resolution number 1416-1025 as presented.
Second. All right. Anyone on council have any questions or comments about that?
No, just, I'll be voting for it. Last time I abstained, and I was told that since I'm not financially, benefiting from it, that I can go ahead and vote on it. So I'll go ahead and vote on it this time.
All right, sounds good.
Is this one similar to last year's where it's separable when they decide to move?
That's correct. Yeah, the only main changes that we made were the price increases from the previous years. Otherwise, everything else is the same.
All right. We have a motion and a second to approve resolution 1416-1025 as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving right along now. We have Senior Public Works Technician Jared Scheppenhauer regarding the SCADA support and integration services.
Mayor, Deputy Mayor, and council members. I am bringing to you the SCADA support services contract that was presented to you by Brett Armstrong at the last meeting, January 6th. We put out a RFQ and received one consultant, which was Parametrics. Nothing has changed since then, and we would like to proceed pending your approval. Do you have any questions?
Has anyone signed up for public comment? No. All right, can we get a reading of resolution 1425-1225?
Resolution number 1425-1225. A resolution of the city of Shelton, Washington, authorizing the city manager to execute professional services agreement number 25-019-PSA for SCADA support and integration services.
All right, do we have a motion?
Ms. Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 1425-1225 as presented.
Second.
All right, do we have any questions or comments from the council?
Thank you for all the work you've done in the past, and this is a great upgrade, and we need to keep supporting our public works and keeping our commerce going and our water flowing. Thanks.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 1425-1225 as presented. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carried. And I guess we're already on to the city manager report. Here we go. Yay.
Good evening, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Council. Jay Harris, your acting city manager. And so this is going to be more of a public workish type of city manager report. So with the dry weather, we've been out at grading gravel roads. Like at Puget was one of them that sort of steep, washed out. We've got some good public comments about that, because usually we don't get to it this early during the winter. Been out doing some potholing too. During this time of year, we can't use hot mix. That's where we go to a plant, get the hot mix from the plant. Most of them close down during the winter. So we get this stuff called cold mix. We put it in there. We have to remove that later though, and then seal it correctly. So it's sort of a lot of times it's 2 touches on the winter potholes. So we usually go back on slower streets. Jared, remind me, we don't go back to all those locations, do we? We leave some cold mix in some spots. Yeah. So we don't get to all of them that way. The asset management system though is going to help us track them much better. We'll be giving you metrics at our next meeting. Potting will be part of it. So as your pavement condition index decreases, the amount of your reactive maintenance increases. Potholing is reactive. Another city I worked at a long time ago didn't have one pothole all winter long, and we had a huge celebration, but our PCI was almost 90, right? A lot of resources went into the pavement systems, but we're a long ways off of that. The bike lanes, about Olympic Highway North. Next week at the council study session, we'll be providing you information about the dual track bike lanes on each side, parking, that sort of thing. So we have some sort of generalized cost estimates for installation costs, and then also long-term maintenance costs. And thank you, Aaron, for putting that work together. That was good. Downtown sidewalk and street trees is out to bid. 2 more weeks, we will have prices on that project. And the goal of that project is to minimize the tripping hazards. Unfortunately, the trees are causing the hazard. They're too large. They need to come out. We can't just trim roots and do all that. I went through all that some time ago with you. If you have more questions about that project, get with me or Aaron about that. But we'll know the pricing in a couple of weeks. I went in and looked at the plan holders list, and there's about 12 companies that have picked up plans and specifications. And typically that's good. We should get 6 or 7 bids on the project. Things are a little slow right now, I guess, in the contracting world. That is the end of the city manager's report.
We're saving a little bit of money on snow plowing this year so far, huh?
Knock on wood.
Thanks, Eric.
But since I've been here 6 years now, and when I first started, we had winters that were quite a bit worse. And this is one of the rainier / dry spell now. And then you go out on the long range weather forecast, and it's looking a little warmer and better. It's a little bit of rain, but we're doing good. Now, we did have the flooding event, but other than that, we're doing good this winter. Now, you go up to the mountains, so that's a problem, right? And so our water here, our aquifer is not snow melt. And so there are cities that rely on melting snow to, fill their water reservoirs and such. And so we're not that, we need rain here. And we're doing okay on our rain amounts, not recently, but for the whole winter, we're doing pretty good. So we're all right there, but you go up to the mountains though, the ski lodges and all that. And if you don't have a snow making machine, it's cold enough, but they have to make snow. So I was just talking to my little niece who went skiing this last weekend. And she said she had her rock skis on because that's how bad it was. You can still ski, but they still can't even make enough snow. So was hanging there, but February is typically the month where we do get a little more, and then early March we can get some wetter snow. So we'll see.
So it's been frosty lately. Are there any patches of like black ice or places that are dangerous? And do we salt those locations, or do we?
Yeah, when we think there's going to be a little bit of precipitation, we'll go and we have a salting machine, and we'll put down some solution on the roadway too. Those little like dribble stripes that you see on the road. We'll do that. We think it's going to be a night of heavy frost. So we're on that pretty regular. but we did have they call it a flash freeze. So it happened here downtown. We came down Highway 3 and the fog had flashed and frozen, and it was an ice skating rink down here for just a few hours, and then it was gone, but it was only in a really localized area. So, I urge everybody, when it's below 32 degrees or hovering around there, just watch, because you don't know what's around the corner, because sometimes you can go into a dip where there's more fog, and it got cold and it froze down there. So just be careful during the winter months.
Yeah, on frosty mornings, remember to make sure to leave a little time to defrost your car before you head out on the road.
Yeah, and good tires are key, right? So run good tires, not Super Bowl, if possible.
Well, thanks, Jay, that we're thinking about that you do salt and we'll make it, you can predict that, so thanks.
And the county does the same too. And WashDOT does the same, so you see a lot of people out. So when you see the stripes on the road though, that's the de-icer. So when snow hits it, when it thaws out, it mixes and it's hard for it to refreeze on that first refreeze, right? So on the second or third, it gets watered down and it's hard to reapply if you have a bunch of material there. But on the first one, and it's actually easier for our plows to get the snow off the road. It doesn't stick as hard also.
Do your plows have a room for a passenger?
We do. We actually do. We usually run two people
Oh,
anyways.
no, right.
And the reason is one person is watching and sometimes you have to back up and they're making sure the driver isn't falling asleep and that sort of thing. So we usually run 2-person teams because it could be 2 a.m, right? And you're tired. And so we run usually 4 to 6 hour shifts. You're rotated off. The second will run, you sit in the seat and that sort of thing. But we try to keep fresh drivers, fresh people, because when you're running a big dump truck with gravel and a sander and a plow, there's a lot going on, so.
All right, definitely. Thank you. All right, well, it looks like our next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, February 3rd.
Sorry.
You're fine.
That's the-
2026 at 6 p.m. And we also have a study session for January 27th at 6 p.m. All right, perfect. And this meeting is adjourned at 7:02. All right. We did it. That is all right. I'm like, oh. And they were moving, so we're.
Starts to go away.
Hello.
Almost like, oh, wait. Megan's
How you doing?
Baker, good. I'm not a baker, but I mean, I'll figure something out to use it.
She's doing really good. Sorry for eating.
Yeah, right, get right out.
Wait, I didn't eat dinner yet. I did, yeah. Dinner. Okay, I'm a little spoiled. Like half hour ago, rushed around to help the kids and I was like, oh, I'm really late. So what cooking?
Oh, no.
I didn't want to jinx it. I do want to see it.
Oh, we have to. Snow.
February?
February, my grandkids
Oh,
are 3 and 2, and they just, oh man, they just go nuts when they see.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think.
I got black.
Make it.
I got black, no.
That's what's still falling.
He did